Hello, today I will be going over Portfolio 3, a case study for human factors, and today I will be focusing in on the dangers of school recess, specifically pertaining to the recess equipment that is being used and the monitoring that is going on the playground. So, recess is a very important and beloved part of a child's day. I remember when I was a child, recess was always the best part of the day, especially when it got warmer outside, and sometimes we were even treated with an extra recess. But it does come with dangers. On February 26th of 2023, a young boy named Dallin Cunningham, who was only 8 years old, was outside playing at recess when he decided to go down a slide that tragically ended his life. This is our victim, Dallin. He was an 8-year-old elementary student at Rose Springs Elementary School in Erda, Utah. His family recounts he was just your typical 8-year-old boy, loved to play outside, loved to get in a little bit of trouble, but nothing that wasn't ordinary for a young man his age. So this is a little bit of an overview of the critical incident at hand. First of all, we have the slide that Dallin went down. This was a corkscrew slide, which in a couple of slides I will present a photo of that. He exited the slide and he ended up flying 7 feet to his death. The slide was absent of the proper guardrails that were needed. Then we have the ground conditions, which in Utah, especially in February, right in the thick of winter, the ground temperature was below freezing and the ground was frozen solid due to icy and cold conditions. Regulation states that there must be at least 12 inches of mulch cushioning the ground at the end of the slide. It was later measured and only about 1 inch of mulch was covering the ground. Next, we move on to playground monitoring. There's a major problem of the fact that parents complain that there was not adequate monitoring of the playground on the teacher's part. This is a huge problem in the world of teaching. I personally work at an elementary school, and I can attest that there is not enough teachers on the playground during recess. Ratio of how big the playground is and to how many students there's not enough. And B, a lot of teachers are quite negligent during recess times. They're, on their phones or chatting. Next, I'm going to go into human factors analysis. I decided to relate this incident to the Swiss cheese model. This model suggests that governments, organizations, and people create barriers to the occurrence of accidents. So on the right, we have a diagram that Chappell and Wiegman in 2000 created. Kind of goes over the steps in the Swiss cheese model. So we have organizational influences, unsafe supervision, preconditioned for unsafe acts, and then unsafe acts. And you can see kind of the trail that goes on. Swiss cheese model continued. Why this incident related to the Swiss cheese model? There was neglect on the construction side, the school was not in regulation with the mulch standards, and teachers were claimed to be unavailable and hard to find during the incident. Why did this happen? So here I have a picture of the slide, and you can see that very, very steep, and I can tell that there does not seem to be that thick of a layer of mulch. First and foremost, this tragedy happened because the slide was not safe for use and the mulch was not within regulation guidelines. Secondly, teachers and playground monitors need to be in earshot and eyesight of every piece of playground equipment. It's quite a miracle that another child had not been hurt on this slide. Solutions. How can schools and teachers prevent this from happening? I believe that teachers need to be advocates for those that they care for. When the school is in session, teachers are the only ones who are caring for these children. They are primary caregivers during the hours of school. There needs to be an emphasis on making sure schools and playgrounds are safe and suitable environments for children to learn and grow. School districts must be diligent on making sure there are in regulations and guidelines for all things on the playground. And then recess should be fun and it should be part of school. And I don't think that we need to have parents worried about their children on the playground. This critical incident aligned with our course's concepts by portraying the reality that human error is inevitable and at times deadly. There are so many factors that go into a teacher's day. Stress and work or personal distractions are main ones. When teachers and school administratives are not diligent at their jobs, things can turn south quickly, and this story is a testament to that. When we take the time to look into real world incidents, we can see many ethical considerations. I believe that as a whole, this incident came down to negligence and poor regulatory mandating. Here are my resources. Thank you.